Hey guys, welcome back to Fables Den. This is Kim, and in this video I want to talk about stereotypes in the spiritual community. So I actually have lots to say about this idea, but I just want to start by just start with a light video and just kind of talk about kind of my story with dealing with with these stereotypes and how they affected my story and blah blah. Okay, so if you're first, I want to start with if you're someone who's a tarot reader, if you're aspiring to be a tarot reader or aspiring to be some kind of heart-centered business owner, like a spiritually themed, having a spiritually themed business, that kind of thing. So one of the reasons that might be stopping you, at least it was kind of like, it was, it definitely affected me and then how I envisioned my journey is some of the stereotypes that are out there in the spiritual community. And they're out there because we see images of success. We see people who are successful in the spiritual business and they often would display certain types of traits. For example, like if you want to be a tarot reader, you might think to yourself that, okay, do I need to be a witch? Do I need to be pagan? Do I need to have a bunch of crystals in my arsenal when I do readings? Do I need to have like these really vintagey or this specific kind of deck? Do I need to make everything pretty, like Instagram worthy? Do I need to make everything like just, do I need to have a fancy background, like all these crystals neatly arranged? Or do I need to look a certain way? Do I need to look hipster? Do I need to like dress like a gypsy or something like that? Like, do I need to be well read in certain types of books in a spiritual publishing world in order to become a tarot reader, in order to become a certain way? Often, we would have this image in our head about, like, what type of tarot reader I should become. Like, what do I need to look like if I want to be a tarot reader? Like, for me, I always feel like, I think especially if you're on Instagram and you see all these pretty pictures from a lot of the tarot Instagrammers, and then they're just posting these gorgeously set up just pictures, like photography, like legit beautiful photography about the tarot readings that they're doing, or just like a tarot spread, and they're just so pretty, and you're just like, oh, I don't know how to arrange any of that. I don't even have the equipment or the items or the decorative items that I can put into that photo to make it look that pretty. Am I worthy of being a tarot Instagrammer or a tarot reader slash person? So definitely gave me a lot of pressure because I feel like I need to get into Instagram photography to be successful, or to attract followers, or because that's what people follow, pretty things on Instagram. So, but really, if you're thinking something like this, if you feel like it's pressured, like kind of pushed on you, you're just like, it's kind of a subconscious thing that you feel like you have to do. Really, it, like for me, what it came down to was I gave it a shot. So it never hurts to experiment. You might like it. It might lead to some other creative ventures, right? So you never know. So I would say, like, give it a try to see if you like it. Start with something cheap. Start with something that's already available in your house. Give it a shot, or just keep your receipts and you can always return stuff. Consumers, right? Yeah. So definitely experiment. I experimented and I try to take like photos for tarot cards, try to have like a simple background. Didn't really enjoy just shuffling things around, fiddling with the angle, trying to adjust things microscopically. Like, that really bothered the heck out of me. That was stressful. Like, I didn't get a creative kick out of it. So after that, I try to do like this cute thing, because that seems to be my thing. I try to put some cute pink feathers around it, try to take pictures of like a cute setting, or like a storybook sort of fairy tale setting. I'll put cards next to my Harry Potter books or stuff like that. So that was fun for a while, but I just also grew tired of it because I just didn't enjoy trying to get the perfect image right. It just didn't make sense to me. I'm sure a lot of you would find that really meaningful and it gets your creative juices going or creative engines going. But for me, it was just so tedious. I completely did not enjoy it, so I stopped doing that. And then I just started experimenting with something else. Just about experimenting. And you don't have to be your Instagram doesn't have to look pretty in order for you to be a tarot reader. What was my point again? And yeah, so honestly, like, you don't have to live up to that stereotype. You don't need to live up to all these requirements. You don't need to have a list of requirements that you have to, check all the boxes, like, before you could become a tarot reader. Like some of the videos that I made before, if you want to do it, if it makes you happy, just do it. And even if you don't quite know what your brand is, even if you don't quite know like what exactly is your unique thing that would attract people to you, that sets you apart, just do it anyway. Just start. Because if you don't start, if you never experiment with what you have to offer, if you don't just try to put stuff out there, you never really you won't be able to define what's your creative edge or what's your creative style or what kind of style that you have. Like maybe you would think that, oh, you know, it doesn't make sense if I have to, maybe I start a brand and I have to figure out what the brand is, and then maybe 2 weeks later I have this different idea, and then you have to do all the rebranding and stuff. Whatever, you know, it's not like eventually, if you don't go through that process of finding yourself, trying to create yourself, trying to figure out what you want to create, you would never know what you want to create, and you would never find your brand. And it's not even just about brand, it's about what you want to create as a person, as a tarot reader. It's about what you can offer as a tarot reader. And if you never start, you would never know what kind of person you'll be. So that's, at least that's true for me. Like I started and stopped, started and stopped, and it's just been like a 3-year journey. Like for 2 years I was kind of mostly inactive. Blogged for like 1 week, stopped for 6 months, posted another blog post, stopped for 3 months. But just slowly and gradually picked the pace, and I gradually had a sense of what I wanted to create. And then just, you never know the surprises that your spirit has for you. It's like the more you create, the more you express yourself, the more you know what you want to express. So it's like, if you don't do it, you will never know. So if you want to do it, if you think that this is something that will make you happy, just try it, just experiment. And if it doesn't make you happy, if you feel like, oh, I'd rather be doing something else, do something else. You know, you don't need to have this big spiritual awakening. You know, that's another thing that I wanted to talk about before I interrupted myself, is like, I think a lot of us who want to do spiritual work, we're always waiting for a sign. We're always waiting for some kind of miracle, some kind of big synchronicity sign, like this big cosmic sign, or this big event in our life that would just kind of usher us into the world of tarot, that would just affirm everything. It would just unlock our destiny. It would just be like, this is it. Like, we're waiting for that sign. And I certainly waited for that sign. I think sometimes I still do. It's like I need a synchronicity to validate my action, that kind of thing. It gets a little bit toxic when we look for that too much, because you're just always waiting. Like the only permission you need is from yourself. And that's when synchronicities happen, is when you allow yourself to do what you want to do. And even if at the end of the road you discover that it's not really what you want to do, it's like, you wouldn't have got to that point if you didn't try. Like if you didn't process all the desires and all the different interests that are kind of appealing to your curiosities and that kind of stuff. It's like, you just have to try it. And I remember writing, I wonder if I mentioned this before in my previous videos, but it's just one of my topics that I want to that I like to explore. So if I'm repeating myself, just bear with me, I guess, or just listen to it again, whatever. But yeah, we're always waiting for some kind of big, grand spiritual gesture from the cosmos to tell us that we're ready. Like, you're never ready when you don't feel ready. You're ready when you're ready to give it a shot. Like, you're ready when you decide that I'm gonna try something. You don't have to find your destiny right away. Like, your destiny unfolds as you create your destiny. Like, you don't just get like a fixed narrative or a fixed timeline. It's like, all right, this is where you're arriving at, and this is the rest of your narrative. And it's never like that, you know? Like, we're not Daenerys Targaryen, where the dragons are born, you know you're gonna conquer Westeros or whatever. That's a bad example, but mostly because I am in love with Game of Thrones right now, and it's also airing on HBO. But anyway, my point is, like, you don't need to have a grand spiritual narrative to do things, you know? It's like, I think this is especially true, like, a lot of spiritual authors that we read in the New Age community, it's always like in the intro or like the before you start section, it's always like the author telling you their personal stories, which I'd appreciate, by the way, but it just, you think about it, what type of narrative do they always tell you? It's always like they are very unhappy in life, and then there's this huge tower moment that just shattered their life apart to let them know that this other thing was what they're supposed to be doing. Or there's always something traumatic, or something grand, something that hits you in the face to tell you that this is what you're supposed to do, and you're not supposed to be on this path. Something like that. And I'm not making light of narratives whatsoever. I'm just trying to say that everybody's different. Everybody has a different narrative. Everybody has a different life path. Stories that they're wanting to create, stories that they're trying to create. You don't need a big spiritual green light to do what you want to do. You just gotta start driving. Life is a drive, it's not a race. It's just, you go on a drive and then you turn right, you turn left, and you're just like, oh, I've been here before, I can try something new. Or it's like, I don't like this place, let's go something new. It's like, you just have to go, just follow your heart, just drift with whatever your spirit's wind is taking you. That metaphor didn't turn out so well. But anyhow, you know what I mean, right? It's like, don't let these stereotypes or typical spiritual narratives define you. Like, I wrote a huge blog post about this. Now that I think of it, I totally mentioned this or talked about this before in one of my videos, but just wanted to put that out there again because it's one of my favorite topics. But yeah, just try. Just don't wait for a divine signal. Like, it's so not. You are divinity. You are divine. You give yourself your own green light. I mean, get a green flashlight or something, just flash it at your face if you really want a sign. Like, you know, the biggest sign that you can give yourself, or the biggest sign that you can find, is that inner permission that you give when you decide, this is actually what I'm gonna do now. That's your sign. Because the universe doesn't just like, universe responds to what you want. If you feel like, I want to do this, and that's when universe is like, oh, okay, this is what I have in store for you. Now that you mentioned it, I actually just remember that I have all these plans that, you know, all these options for you, and you can go check it out. Da da da. You know, the universe is not going to be always chasing after your butt, asking you to do something. It's like, if you don't want to do it, if you're busy with something else, if you think you can't do it, then that's what you're gonna get from the cosmos as well. So just give yourself that permission to do whatever the heck you want, and don't feel like you need to follow anyone's path. Like, that's the thing with spirituality. You just gotta be yourself. You just have to find ways to be more of yourself, and in that process, even when you're embarking on the journey that's really pertains to business or money, that's kind of really down to earth and very practical. That's just your thing. That's your grand spiritual narrative. That's your adventure. That's you. All that is you. What you create is you. That's what sets you apart. It's like, if you're trying to start, just find ways to be more of yourself. Just find ways to be honest. Just find ways to create more of what you want, more of what makes you happy. And that's the best thing you can do for yourself, and that's the way to go. So, I feel like this has been a meandering video where I'm just going everywhere at once, but oh well. Yeah, I want to talk about stereotypes, but this is where I ended up. So, just be yourself. Kind of cheesy thing to say, but yeah. Yeah. Give yourself that inner permission, and just go. Just do it. Just do it. Okay, so I think that's all I have to say so far. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that inspired you somehow. I want to make more pep talk videos, but it keeps just getting overboard. It keeps ending up to be like a 20-minute video when I want it to be like 5 to 10 minutes long, and it's just like, blah, why can't I just like keep concise and just shut up? or just try to keep it within a structure or something. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I hope you're happy. I hope you're really happy with what you have achieved. If not, do something happy, achieve something that makes you happy. So, till next time, be the hero of your own story, and keep calm and tarot on. I will see you next time.